So welcome back to my garage. This is Gamer Dom. I thought today I would take a look at the M41 Walker Bulldog. Now, I unlocked this yesterday. You may have noticed that the American Tech Tree is on discount at the moment, so you're getting a 50% discount on your costs of purchasing with credits. Up to 50% up to tier, tier 5, tier 6 and tier 7 are 30% off, and 8 to 10 are 15% off. So it's a good time if you're working down any of these American tank lines. It's a good time to be looking to spend your credits, because you're going to get better value for them. And I bought 2 tanks so far off this line. I bought the Bulldog and I bought the Hellcat. I'll talk about the Hellcat another day, but Hellcat is a tank that used to be supreme. Used to see it everywhere. Every battle around sort of tier 8 to 8 and downwards, you would see 3 or 4 Hellcats on both sides probably, and it was just overpowered. It was almost impossible to spot. It has a really good gun, high speed, and they nerfed it. And since the nerf, nobody really plays it as much, so you don't see it as often. I have to say, I struggled with it. It's one of those things, considering I really like TDs, I really struggled with it. So when I got through it, I just sold it and moved on. Now I've just rebought it because I wanted to go back. I had unfinished business. Although I've got a mastery in it, my record in it is pretty poor. So I've got it back again to try it again. So anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Bulldog. The Bulldog follows on from the, it's down the light American tank line. So you start off through the Stuarts, god awful tanks, hated all of those. The Chaffee, which is a really nice little tier 5 tank, light tank, onto the T37, which I struggled with, frankly. It doesn't suit my play style. I'm not really a player that likes to go mad with a light tank and circle everything and take down the enemy light tanks in a hail of shells. It just doesn't fit my style. I'm more of a passive scouter, and I think the T37 is better as a scrapping light. So whatever reason, I struggled with it, but I got it because I wanted to get onto the Bulldog. And the Bulldog I have serious tank envy for, because you see people playing this so well. And so I took advantage of the 30% off and bought it for myself. I bought it yesterday actually, so I've had one game in it, which was a massively good game, so no pressure then to improve. I didn't keep a recording, stupid me, but else I would have showed that off to you and said how wonderful that I am at this tank. But yeah, so you'll see. It probably won't be now any road up. So what does it come with? It starts off with this 76mm cannon, which is actually, now not effectively, it is the same gun that the T37 uses, which is actually a pretty good gun. You are a light tank, so you're not going to have the smack 'em in the mouth kind of gun that a medium or a heavy has, but what is it, 150mm penetration is pretty reasonable for a tier 5 or tier 6 gun on a tier 7 scout, so not bad at all. But really the gun everyone tries to get to is this little sucker. And again, it's a 76mm, but the reason why it is so good, well, it's 2 reasons really. It has a 10 shell magazine, rapid firing, so it fires a shell every 2 seconds. Only takes 36 seconds to reload the magazine, which is not bad at all. Some of these magazine, especially with that number of shells, some of these magazine loaders can take a hell of a long time. 36 seconds, especially with good crew skills, which will get that down, it's not too bad. The other good thing about this gun is its standard ammunition is APCR, which for those who don't know, APCR fires and flies much quicker as a shell, which means you don't have to lead your shot. If it's a slow shell, easy for me to say, if it's a slow velocity shell, low velocity shell, you have to lead the target and aim in front of the target much more. Whereas if something like APCR, you pretty much line up on your target, even if it's moving at range and at speed, and the shell will hit it almost immediately. You fired it, so you don't have to aim in front of it. So that's a huge advantage. It does mean that a lot of people who don't understand start calling you noob and gold spammer and all that, but it's the standard ammo for this gun. The premium is a heat, so that's if you want to spam gold, you load up a clip of heat and off you go. So penetration 175 with the standard APCR, which is pretty good. 150 damage, which is not so good, but you know, if you're firing a 10 shell I can't speak today, too much Christmas. If you're firing a 10 shot magazine at somebody and potential damage 150 each time, that's quite good DPM. So, and you are a light tank at the end of the day. With a heat it's 210, penetration again the 150, and HE, well, you're probably not going to fire any HE, so forget that. Dispersion is okay, 0.4 is pretty good, which means the shell won't deviate too much in flight, which is good. Means actually this is not a bad sniping gun. Aim time 2.1 is it's okay. Nothing to write home about. But again, you know, one of the things with this gun, you either hide it, this tank, you either hide and snipe, or you are circling somebody, in which case your aim time is less of a problem. So, what else to say about this vehicle? Obviously, to get on to the Super Derp, which is the T48, you need to come down this whole line of equipment. The autoloader is a bit of a side branch, but I think my gut feel is this is going to be a keeper of a tank, so I definitely wanted to unlock that, so I've headed down there. Let's go back into the garage and have a look at this properly. It's a good looking vehicle though, I think. It's a nice tank. It's quite a big light tank, quite chunky, but it's a good looking thing. I like it as a vehicle. I think it's aesthetically very nice. So let's have a look at a bit of detail. 910 hit points, which is, you know, it's a light tank, so what are you going to get? But that's actually not too bad. It weighs around 25 tons, has an engine power of 550 and a top speed of 72 miles an hour, or kilometers an hour, sorry, and a traverse speed of 56. So it's pretty nippy. It gets around the battlefield pretty well. The power to weight ratio is pretty good on it, so it will motor. You know, you notice accelerating is good, it reverses pretty good. If you get in a position where you can circle a slower moving tank, you will just literally run rings around it in this tank. So, you know, but then that's the same with a lot of lights. So good speed, good mobility. Armour, well, what do you expect? It's a light tank, so you know, you may, if you're extremely lucky, bounce one shot in about 100, but really forget it, you're not even going to try. I mean, the gun mantle is okay, so if someone's daft and hits you there and it's a low enough caliber, or you've got a bit of angling on it, you might get a bit of deflection. But it's 25mm armour on the front of the hull and the front of the turret, and because it's quite a big old target, you know, people would just pen you all day long. But then you're a light tank, right? Light tanks aren't supposed to have heavy armour. It's 25 at the sides, both hull and turret, and 25 again at the turret rear, and only 19 at the back. So the problem with 25 is that anybody who's got any reasonable caliber will fire HE at you, and it will fully penetrate, because most of them have, well, you look at our gun here, HE penetration of 38. So 38 fired from our own gun, which is only a 76, would go straight through this armour and give full damage on the inside, and probably knock out gunners and got crew and engine modules and all sorts. So you don't really want to get hit. So keep moving. It's the secret. Or keep hidden is the other secret. So view range is very, very good. 400 is its base view range, but then it's a scout, and that's its job, to be spotting. I use coated optics on this. It gives me 449 with this crew as a view range, which is, you know, right up to the very end of its maximum view range. On this one, I haven't unlocked the whole radios, I don't think. No, so I've only got the tier 6 radio, which means the signal range is pretty dire at 400 odd. Radios are weird things because everyone ignores them, but they are actually quite useful or quite important, because, you know, if you're out of signal range and you're outside, you know, on a big map, you can't actually see what's going on, so it's kind of important. Yeah, it goes up to 745 with the upgrade, but I'm not going to upgrade that until I've got enough XP to do it. I'm not going to use my seriously depleted store free XP for that. So there you go. What else can we say? So on my equipment, I've got the vertical stabilizers, 20% accuracy during movement and turret rotation. You're a light tank, you're probably going to be firing on the move when you get into that situation, particularly towards the end of a game when you're pouncing on some poor heavy or damaged TD or something. Firing on the move and increasing that accuracy is vital, so that's why I take that. Coated optics, because you want to help your view range. Again, there is a case for taking coated optics and binos. I haven't done on this one. I can see the benefit of both, but I find that coated optics with the base view range of this tank is good enough. And I take vents, because that gives you an extra 5% to your crew skills, which is good. So it means you load quicker, you drive slightly better, you rotate the turret quicker, everything basically is better, your view range and everything else. It's a 4-man crew. This was the crew that I had on the T-37. I just retrained them. They've got full camo for first skills, apart from the commander, who's got 6th sense, which again, 6th sense, vital for any. To be honest, it's a skill that pretty much every tank can benefit from, apart from maybe the heaviest heavies, because they don't really care if they get spotted. But if you're in a light or a TD, knowing when you've been spotted is hugely advantageous. So knowing that means you can just bug out, get out of the way. So 6th sense vital. My second skill, I'm trying to get Brothers in Arms, because that helps everything in terms of everything they do gets slightly better, but it takes a bit of time to get there. So what else? On consumables, I haven't bothered with a fire extinguisher. We'll see if I start getting. I mean, it's a 20% chance of fire. If I start getting hit and burning, I will sort that out and I will put in a fire extinguisher. But at the moment, because I don't want to have my tracks blown off, you know, it happens a lot in light tanks when you're flying across a field and someone tracks you. So I've got the small repair kit and the large repair kit to try and give me a better chance of getting up and running, and a small first aid kit, because you need that for the cruise. So anyway, I think it's a nice looking tank, so let's see what we can do with it. Okay, so here we are on Serene Coast, tier 9 game. Yeah, I mean, tier 9 is what you typically expect in this tank. You're going to see anything up to a tier 10. You're a scout after all, and your primary objective, despite the fact it's got a very good gun, primary objective is to spot enemy tanks and do a scouting job for your team. So initially, I'm going to rush over here, and really, scouts as a rule come into their own later on in the game. Early doors, it's about spotting the enemy, helping your team to get vital intelligence about where the enemy are. That's what I'm doing here. While I'm loading, seeing that IS-3. Won't reload before it's time to shoot. I might have a chance to shoot this fella. Come on, reload. Didn't load in time. Just didn't load. Oh, the tiger though. Hello, Mr. Tiger. Oh, he's pulled back. He knows I'm looking. Oh, there's that. And just like that, being spotted, which is frustrating. Oh, was that where the IS is? Got no chance of penning an IS from up here. Oh! How come a Jag Tiger's managed to get all the way around there and not be spotted? It's the sort of game you wish you had Artie. How the hell has he managed to get there without being spotted? That's better. I'm aimed in the right place, wasn't it? And stick your ass out the back, you know you want to. Reload. We're going to reload some heat, because I think we need it against those boys. 30-second reload. Oh, I'm being shot at by people. Oh, that's not nice. Don't they know that I'm lovely? Alright, we're reloaded, so let's see if we can see them. So 110 just down there. Good rate of fire on this thing. Oh, couldn't quite kill him. 30 points left. So we took down a 110, a tier, what is he? Tier 8 heavy, and we just ripped him a new arsehole, frankly. Trouble is I'm not loaded anymore. And behind me I'll finish that 110 before we go anywhere else. There he is. Right, let's go. Job done. Right. We had to clear him out of the way because he was behind me. And that would have caused all kinds of mayhem. So where's that Jag Tiger gone? And that's what I love about this tank. Whoa, a meal. That's not very nice. Ah, I've got kills. Damn, stop still. Should never stop still in a Walker Bulldog. Or any light tank for that matter. But you saw there the beauty of that tank you can whiz around from one speedster to another. I'll now go to the Super Pershing. So anyway, what was I saying? The beauty of that tank is you can whiz around. You can, if you can get a flank or a side, a flank or a rear of an enemy tank, you can cause some major mayhem. And so looks like our team wants to throw this game away. So, Leopard not even active. Yeah, I don't think he's active. Wow. Huh. So like, there's an IS-2 going to be coming back. There he is, yeah. He was paying attention to the map. He knew what was happening. 24 seconds. Can he get back inside? Do you reckon? He's a slow mover. The full strength isn't going to go well. No, he didn't reset. He didn't manage to reset. That's a disaster for their team. What a shame. Can he reset his last 1 second? No, he didn't do it. Wow, we won it. Well, that's a bonus. Didn't see that happening. But IS-2 was in a perfect position to reset that cap. I missed it. Bounced the shot and then had another go and still didn't do it. So go go figure. So what do we got here? I fired a whole clip of premium, so that didn't help the costs. But so we finished second on experience. 949 is pretty good. Damage 1,700. You know, we're light tanks, so what are you going to do? Didn't do much assistance damage, which is really what we should have been there for. Spotted 2 vehicles. But that map is really hard to spot on, so that's my defense. 25 shots fired, 21 hits, 14 penetration. So your accuracy in these things, in this gun, is very good. Really good. However, we did fire an entire clip of heat, and that was not cheap. And we ended up making a 35,000 credit loss on that game. In my defense, I loaded it because I thought I was going to have to fight all those heavies that were coming down the island, and I thought I needed something to be able to pen them with. And the problem, this is the problem with a big clip, like a 10-shot clip like this one has. You sort of have to fire all 10. I mean, you could reload halfway through, but the trouble is with a 30-second reload, I didn't really need it to penetrate the side of the 110. That said, I ripped him apart with it, so could have done it with standard APCR, but anyway, I didn't, and I'd chosen to reload, and once you've chosen to reload, you kind of have to go with it. Yeah, so that poor guy in the 110, just absolutely ripped him apart. 10 hits, 10 penetrations. Wow. Took out his ammo rack, his track, before ripping him apart. Getting around behind the Jag Tiger was great, fantastic, because he was causing me problems early on in the game, so that was good to take him out. And that shot on Tamil showed the accuracy of this gun. I can only see a little bit of his of the gun shield really of that Emil, and hit him and killed him, so he was low health, but even so. Yeah, so 35,000 loss, Type 2 mastery. Yeah, pretty acceptable game. I thought we should have lost it, to be honest, but we didn't, so sucks to be them. So here we are on Abbey. It's a tier 8 game, and I think I'm pretty sure most tanks have a weighting in terms of what tiers you get. It just seems to me with the Bulldog, I don't often get higher tier games. You know, I mean 9s and 10s. I haven't played a huge number of games, so you know, maybe people could put me corrected in the comments on this, but I seem to get 8s and 9s most often in the Bulldog, and I'm not complaining because you know tier 10s in this thing are going to be a challenge, but whatever. So I'm going to race up here. I haven't got my gun loaded, so that's a bit of a risk. Oh, and there's the other Bulldog, but if I haven't loaded, you can guarantee he won't be loaded either, so that's good. So I don't need to panic. I'm loaded now. There's comes a Hellcat. What the first shot missed. What a, and I've locked on auto lock. And what the heck is he doing? You know, I was always gonna rip him apart. Once he missed with his first shot, he was history. He was toast. So anyway, that's a good start. Hellcat down. And I'm going to go around here and see if I can proxy spot the other guys that are on the hill. Yep, there's the... And I got spotted, so I've got to watch out for any sort of shooting across the valley there. Let's see if we can go and have a go on the KV-85. He's a bit exposed. Oh, the Bulldog's dead. Good. Sneak around here. This gun is really good if you can get it. Let's see. Oh, lower plate. Oh no, I tracked him, which is what I wanted. Second shot in, he's repaired, so that's good. Another shot into his, just before he pulled back, bounced off his cupola, which is a shame. So, you know, 2 good shots into the KV-85. We're doing okay. Oh, don't know what happened there. Press the fire button by mistake. Who's spotting me? I must be that Panther behind me, but he's got his hands full, so we're okay. Let's see, he's still spotting me though. Let's see if we can get a shot on him. Come on. Oh, okay, he's dead. So, looks like the valley's nice and secure. We'll go for a reload, because we only have 1 shot left. To be honest, this is looking like a rout. They don't look up to much, this team. Can't get shot on that AMX, and anyway, I'm not loaded yet, but I can light up that VK below me and see if I can see anything else around this corner. It appears there's nothing. So, is there anything else coming down that road? Doesn't look like it either, so there's a CDC, of course, the moment I move something appears, but I'm going to shot him anyway. So there's a Cheeto and that KV-85 down on the bottom. Let's see if we can go and do a bit of spotting. See if we can help the team in terms of spotting what's out there. Can't see. Oh, he's dead. Right. I can get. He doesn't know I'm here. A surprise! Can get 2 shots before he turns his turret. Can't get the Cheeto. Got to watch out for anything at the back there. So let's get in a hold down position again. No, can't see anything. But there's a love. No, he's pulled back behind the hill. Can't get him. Nice, and a love sitting there. Artie, we can see Artie. That Lorraine's a really powerful thing. 1 shot, bang. 2 shot. Is he still there for the 3rd? Of course he is. Bulldog, is he AFK? He looks like he might be AFK. Well, 3 points for me. Can I kill him? Yes indeed I can. 4 kills. Nice. 1500 damage. And there's the IS. We'll take the love because he's a higher value target. Get more XP for firing at higher level tanks than you. There's the GW Panther. He's about to die. Needing to reload, so I'm just waiting for the reload here. Pull back out, spot that IS again. But he can still see me. In fact, there's a tiger there as well. That really, I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was hidden again, but clearly I wasn't. Misplay. Never mind. Game's safe. Repaired the turret because I thought I was going to need it, and of course it's a waste of credits because There's only 2 tanks left on their side and they're both tucked around the corner and I can't get a shot on them. So I'm going to have to race around and see what we can do. Don't think I'm going to get there in time. But you can see the mobility of this thing is pretty good. Gun is very effective. It's better at closer ranges or if you really aim properly. But with the autoloader it's very powerful. So there you go. That's a win. Pretty tank. Okay, so that game was fast and furious, and frankly the other team really didn't play very well at all. So, but you know, you can only defeat what you're up against, and I think that showed off the Bulldog pretty well. I'm still going to know how to play it. It's more like a light medium, which actually I prefer those sort of light tanks. I think it's easy to get carried away with that autoloader too. But it's a really fun tank to play. So let's have a look at this matchup. We did go second class mastery out of the game, master gunner, fighter, blah blah blah, and tank sniper. Of course, the highest damage at distance of at least 300. Okay, so that's interesting. So you know, I think that was pretty good. We finished second on experience, nearly 2,000 damage of 4 kills. We didn't do an awful lot of spotting. 463, which is a bit low. You know, we are scouts, but as I say, I think this tank is more like a fast light medium. Really. It relies more on its gun than anything else, and maybe I'll change the equipment I've got on it accordingly. But 19 shots fired, 17 of those hit, 15 penetrated, so it's a good gun on this thing. 76mm on this is really good. You know, even at distance, 1,000 damage, so nearly half my, or more than half my damage was inflicted at long range, 300 meters, which is good. Nearly 34,000 creds, and profit of 26,000. So that's all goodness and light. 1,300 experience. It was my first victory of the day, so you know, 2,700 XP, which is also very nice indeed. So yeah, I think I'm really enjoying this tank. It's good fun. I really want to get to it. I don't know that it's funny because when I used to fight it, I used to think it was completely OP. Now I've got it, I don't think it is. I think it's just the fact there are some extremely good players with it. For those of us sort of more Joe Average styley, it's just a good tank, good fun tank to play. I think if you're watching people play it who are absolutely stunning, and there are some fantastic players of this. I mean, you know, this was second on my team, and it's only a second class mastery. So clearly there's some really good players of this, and in fact if you look at some of the other video streamers out there, they do some, you know, amazing amounts of damage. Some of the videos they have of this thing are fantastic. So, but if you think you're going to play like that as Mr. Joe Average like me, you know, you may have one of those games in a blue moon, which you'll crow about and dream about for the rest of your time in the tank, but most of us don't get that. So you know, that said, it's a nice tank. If you like those sort of fast light medium tanks with good guns, with not much armour, then this may be the tank for you. I think it's tremendous fun. I really enjoy it. So I'll continue playing it. So anyway, this has been Gamer Dom. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please, like always, click like and click subscribe, because it makes things a little bit easier. And if you've got any comments about this sort of tank and how it plays, then let me know below. See you again out there. Cheers.